Hey, bookworms. I am here on the phone with Jessica Manges. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for beaming in from the great state of
Indiana.
Indiana, a Hoosier. We have a Hoosier on the line, I think.
Yeah, just don't tell my husband that because he roots for the Purdue.
Oh, a little house divided. Excellent, excellent. And so, tell me about yourself first. What do you enjoy doing when you're not writing, and what got you into writing, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I had a long career in business. I worked for places like Coca-Cola, and I was a manager. Most recently, I was a supervisor over the area of Indianapolis, and I took a step back to fulfill my dream of writing. So now I work part-time for my church, but in my spare time, I love to collaborate with other authors. I love to travel.
Oh, what are some of the cool places you've traveled?
So most recently is we just got back from Jamaica and Grand Cayman, and next month we will be going to Bermuda.
Oh, nice. You're not flying into Bermuda, are you?
We're driving to Philadelphia, and we are taking a cruise to Bermuda.
I think that's okay. I don't know. Anyway,
I think
all right.
we'll avoid the triangle, yeah.
Yes, good idea. Good idea. Excellent. So you said your dream. When did you first think that, hey, I want to become an author?
I probably sometime in elementary school.
Really?
So I've always loved stories. I've always loved telling stories. I used to tell my friends stories on the playground all the time. And then when I got a little older in high school, I loved writing. I loved my writing classes and my composition classes in college. And I wanted to be a writer when I was working retail. I had notes and stories of all the fun retail stories and customer stories that, you collect over the years. And I wanted to put it into a book. Never did, but then once I took a step back from working management, I decided that this is what I was going to do.
I love it. And are you doing that full-time now or still part-time?
I would consider what I do full-time since I'm putting more than 40 hours a week into all of it. So I'm not making the money yet for full-time, but I am putting in the hours for full-time.
That's great. That's what's needed. So, all right. Well, we are scheduled to talk about Scott Killian and The Letter, your most recent book that's out.
Yes.
And so let's start with just what genre is it and who's your target audience with Scott Killian and The Letter?
Yes, I'm a Christian fiction author, so my books are always kind of geared towards the Christian fiction genres, but this particular one is a young adult, and it is geared towards those who like the mysterious thriller and kind of dystopian worlds.
Okay, and what can you tell me about the setting and this dystopia that's going on?
So I did write it to take place in a realistic setting. So it takes place in Franklin, Indiana, which is a small town not too far away from where I live now.
Okay.
And it takes place in the future, although I'm not very specific. It could be as early as, next year, or it can be, several years into the future. But it's in the future. So It is the future of Franklin, Indiana. And I even use maps as I was writing the book so that I had like street names and different things correct as I was doing like car chases and things like that.
Nice. People love maps, right, readers? We're the readers who like the maps. Comment on the maps. So one of the things I know readers, some like to do, speaking of traveling, is to go to places where books are set. So I'm interested, if one went to Franklin, Indiana, what would it be like? What's there?
Well, they've actually have changed a little bit over the years. It used to be kind of like the old town. It was the county seat. They had the courthouse, things like that. But over the years, they've gotten a lot of shops and newer, kind of trendy, I guess, shops going in downtown, and the houses have been kind of those historical houses. A lot of the architecture of the housing community is older and very pretty. I've actually talked a little bit about some of the architecture in the houses just briefly in my book, but yeah, some of those have a lot of money has been put in rebuilding some of those houses and fixing up the old houses downtown that were made in the 1800s. So you see a lot of those houses, just kind of Victorian houses as you're walking down Main Street and things like that. It's very nice.
Very nice, yeah. And what can you tell me about the characters in your book, like the main character?
Yeah, so the main character's name is Scott. He is 18 years old, just graduated from high school, and is kind of at a loss of what he wants to do in the future. And he has friends that graduated with him. Carl and Max and Sam are his best friends, and they're all, the same age. So after he graduates high school, he kind of has some run-in with some kind of, we'll just call him a mysterious stranger, and he kind of gets his friends involved, and they kind of go off kind of solving the puzzle of who the stranger is, and end up finding a letter that his mom wrote him over 3 years ago. And his mom had disappeared over 3 years ago. So this is kind of like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. We might be able to find out what actually happened to his parents and Carl's mother and some of the other people that had disappeared. And they kind of go off on this mystery of solving who this stranger is and what this letter means that he found from his mother.
All right. And how many pages is it? And is it a standalone or is it part of a series?
So as of right now, it is a standalone. I have had a lot of requests to make it into a series. So that may be on the back burner after my current series is over. I'm not 100% committed to that yet, but for those who have been asking, it's not a deal breaker yet. It's not a definite no, but it is about 254 pages, I believe, in the last paperback. I think the Kindle version is a little less, but paperback is 254 pages. Okay.
And you're indie published?
I am indie published, but I'm also working at starting. So it's published under Acorn Ridge Publishing, which is the publishing company that I have started along with my pastor and his wife. They're friends of mine, and they've also published books recently. So we're actually publishing under the same umbrella, and we're going to be starting a publishing company for other Christian authors who are planning on publishing their book independently to kind of join us under that umbrella, and we'll create a website so that all the books will be kind of there, and we can kind of collaborate together on different ways of marketing and stuff like that, just to help each other along.
Yeah, that's great.
Acorn Ridge Publishing.
Acorn Ridge. Okay, excellent. In case any of the other authors here are interested in reaching out. That's great.
Yes.
How do you think readers would relate to your characters?
So, for Scott, he has the idea that he wants to do something with his life, but he just kind of never amounted to anything. It's not that he didn't try, it was more so that he was trying to fly under the radar. I feel like I relate to that because I'm kind of an introvert. I kind of never really wanted to be too noticed or too picked out of a crowd. So when things were thrown at me, it was kind of like, okay, it's now or never. I better step up my game and show them what I got because, I've never really pushed myself out towards people before as an introvert. So I feel like he kind of relates to me in that level, and I think other people can relate to being an introvert. And then his best friend Carl, who is an extreme extrovert, kind of like that yin-yang thing going on. They're like a dynamic duo, so they're always together, and he kind of offsets Scott quite a bit, and he offers a lot of humor to the relationship as well, and to the book and to the story.
Okay, and is there any overriding message that readers should or could take away from it?
Yeah, so it's definitely a passage of finding your faith and finding your purpose in life. So it's not just, like finding the mystery or solving the puzzle. It's his whole entire life is kind of like dependent on the faith that he finds through, and I don't want to give away too much, but through his journey.
Right, okay. And this is not your only book that's out.
It's the only book that's currently out. My next book comes out this summer.
Okay. Any teasers on that one you want to give?
Sure. So that one is called Rebellion of the Watchers.
Okay.
It takes place prior to Noah's flood. So it's an antediluvian world. And it's very like fantasy-like because you have a lot of history from like the Book of Enoch and things like that, where you have the divine beings, the watchers, that they come down and they're messing with the earth. So you have kind of that mythological kind of background there, and you have dragons and giants and witches and and kind of that whole genre.
Okay.
So the main character Arvad and his brother Duran kind of have a goal. Well, they were given a goal from a witch named Ashira, and they find out that they're kind of doing the bad the bad thing. They're realizing that she's not as well. She's more devious than they think she is to begin with. So they find out that they're not doing something that they should probably be doing, and they try to stop her plan. So
I got you. Okay. And that one is going to be a part of a series?
That one is part of a series, and I'm already writing book 2 of that series now. Okay.
And are you planning on those being able to be read standalone, or are people going to have to read them in order?
They are standalone stories, but you will get more from them if you read them in order.
I got you. Okay. And where can people find you online?
Yeah, so I have my Facebook profile is Jessica Manges Author. I'm also on TikTok as Jessica Manges Author, Instagram, and I have a website on GoDaddy, Jessica Manges Author GoDaddy.com, and then I am on Lemon, but I don't really do anything on that yet.
Okay.
Well, too many social medias to keep track of that. I don't have too much on all those others.
I get it. And where can people buy the books?
Currently, it is on Amazon, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. I'm also in some bookstores. It's also available through Ingram Sparks, and it will be available a few other places within the next couple weeks. It should be available like on Barnes & Noble and Walmart as well. Okay.
After you chased this lifelong dream of being an author, what surprised you, or did you find anything surprising that you didn't expect?
Well, I've learned a lot, that's for sure. So being an indie author is definitely a learning experience, just from the time that you start till probably the time that you finish, or the time that you die, because I have not stopped learning since the minute I published 2 years ago. So it's definitely been a learning experience, and I would say that I wish I knew all the stuff then that I know now, but that's probably why I've started the publishing company, to help other people, because it's just a lot. And my background is marketing. I have a bachelor's degree in marketing and public relations. So that was kind of like, oh yeah, this should be easy. My whole background is marketing, and it has been not easy.
Right.
But I am able to help other people in that field that just don't have any idea. Like they kind of know their demographic, but they don't know how to find their demographic. So just being able to help people be like, okay, do you write for children? Do you write for mothers? Do you write for single women? What things do they like? Where do they hang out? Like, what kind of places, you can do book signings at, a toy store if you do children's books, or, reach
Right.
out to local businesses, things like that. So I have been able to help some other authors do that. I meet up with them probably once a week. I meet up with certain authors to kind of help them along their journey as well.
And folks who have read your book, how have they reacted?
Well, most of them have asked when book 2 is coming out, so that's why I thought, okay, I might have to put that one on the back burner and actually write
Right.
a series for this. So it has gotten a huge reception, but people have said, okay, what happens next? Because it does take place in the future, so you think that, okay, there's always a what next? What's happening? What's going to happen next to these boys and their adventure? So. But people have told me that they've read it so fast that they're not big readers, but they couldn't put it down. So I have gotten a lot of positive feedback from that, which is I'm absolutely grateful, and I'm grateful for every review that I get.
That's great. That's great. What do you enjoy most about being an author now?
I still just love the stories. I love coming up with plots and plot twists and thinking, oh, they'll never see this one coming, or coming up with this great character arc or a great joke to put in my book. I love laughing. I love jokes, and stand-up comedy is not my thing, but I would love to make people laugh through something that they read.
Right.
So every once in a while, my books are not, comedy books, but to throw in something here and there to make people chuckle is, definitely my cup of tea. So,
Right.
Just love all those kind of things, especially the plot twists.
Right. What different moods would you say a reader would experience as they read Scott Killian?
I would say probably kind of edge of your seat. There's a lot that happens really fast. It's a very fast-paced book, and there's always something like about to happen, kind of suspenseful, and you're not sure exactly what's going to happen next. So it's definitely kind of an edge of your seat kind of story.
Excellent. Excellent. Any remarks about the cover design?
So I actually just released my second edition that came out this week, and that was because I had designed a new cover that I thought was a little bit more eye-catching, relatable. So that was one of the things I wish I knew then what I know now. So the book cover that I had originally was a little plain, a little not eye-catching. People loved the story once they read it, but I don't think that they would have gravitated to it when they looked at it. So I definitely wanted something that would stand out and really catch their attention when they pass it in a store.
Excellent. Well, any last remarks for readers?
No, just, hey, if you're interested in reading it, I would love for you to give me your feedback, whether it's good or bad. You can email it to me at bookkeeper43@yahoo.com. My email's constantly full of spam, but I'll try to find the ones that aren't.
Right. Well, Jessica, I really enjoyed talking to you today.
Yes, I enjoyed our conversation as well.
Yes, excellent, and great luck with Scott Killian on the letter and your next series.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great night.